Okay, so Star Wars fans got hit with a big old bait and switch this week, and honestly, I think this is probably what ruined my week. Was tweet went out like Monday that said Kathleen Kennedy is set to retire by the end of 2025. And Star Wars fans everywhere rejoiced. They're like, oh my gosh, this is great. Like end of episode 6, like celebration, whatever. And then there's some people who were like, don't you understand? Kathleen Kennedy is not the one who makes the decisions at Lucasfilm. And I'm like, fact check. That's literally what the president of the company does. Is they make the decisions on what gets greenlit, what doesn't. They get to say, like you can say, oh yeah, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, like they have the say over the Mandalorian. That's true.
Right.
But if Kathleen Kennedy comes in and says, no, we need more Grogu screen time so that we can, sell more plush toys.
Right.
They have to do it. She's their boss.
Mm-hmm.
So she's had like her fingers in a lot of different Star Wars projects and a lot of different projects in general. So anyway, she said that on Monday, and then it came out yesterday, and this is like the bait and switch, is she said she's not retiring, actually. She's producing several upcoming Star Wars projects, and she said, I will never retire from movies, I will die making movies, actually. Has started talking with Disney about a succession plan, and it could be a year before a decision is announced. Will stay at Lucasfilm to assist whoever takes over. And it's that last line that's like, so what you're telling me is you're going to find a successor who essentially turns into like a little puppet, and you're just going to pull an Emperor Palpatine and start manipulating that person to do all the same things you did, but then it's not technically your fault because it's this other person's fault. And it's like, or maybe Lucasfilm just needs to go in a completely different direction because what they're doing with Star Wars isn't working.
Nope.
Nope. And they need to pivot. Come on, guys. So, yeah, she pulled a nice little 1-2
punch. Because we were like, oh my gosh, Star Wars is back. And then it was like, also, like, how did that happen? Did she say something wrong? And like, it was like, oh, I'm switching roles, and then someone on the internet took that and translated it wrong, or what happened?
I'd like to think, based on my infinite knowledge of Kathleen Kennedy, which is zero, that she said she was gonna retire and like meant that genuinely. Like, I've spent my life, like last however many years of my life doing movies, like last 40 something years, at Lucasfilm. Right. It's been great. And then she saw the fan reaction on the internet where everyone's like, yeah, she's gone.
Hooray!
And was like, you know what? Actually, hold on. I'm not done. I'm still going to make movies. And I'm going to do this just to spite you. So.
That is so real.
And it's like, I don't know. I can't attribute everything to Kathleen Kennedy. Like, it's not entirely her fault. She's made a lot of bad decisions, but it's also not entirely her fault.
Right.
But on the other hand, like, I don't know, fresh leadership never hurt anybody. I think the Disney company as a whole could use some fresh leadership across the board. I don't think I could name, like, one good Disney executive who's made a good decision in the last year.
Right.
Because,
like, so you're kind of like,
Bob Iger's on everybody's crap list. Bob Chapek doesn't work there anymore. Josh D'Amaro's on the crap list. Kathleen Kennedy's on the crap list. Kevin Feige's on the crap list because he's not doing anything good with Marvel. So it's like,
yeah,
maybe we should change things up.
It's like if you make one or two bad movies, it's like, okay, the wrong director, the wrong executive, something like some old white dude in a boardroom said, no, it needs more of this, and he was completely wrong at it. Like, sure, that happens. That's fair.
Yeah.
But the consistency
to be bad.
The terrible messaging and just terrible quality is not a lower level problem at that point. Like, that's not how this works. I'm curious to see how their movies move on going forward. Because she said that Taika Waititi's Star Wars film was looking for a new writer. Which, like, come on. I feel like every single Star Wars project we've talked about for the last year is like, yeah, we're doing this. Never mind. That didn't work. We're looking for a new writer. We're looking for a new director. We're canceling this. And I was like, what's the plan? Like, what's the plan?
I know we talked about this last year with, like, when we did our big, like, Star Wars retrospective.
Yeah.
And it just feels really weird that it's been 6 years in December since they've gotten, like, a Star Wars movie to theaters. And yes, I know they're re-releasing Revenge of the Sith in April. That doesn't count.
I saw the Phantom Menace in theaters.
As excited as I am for that, and I will be there day one because they're doing like 3D, 4DX, IMAX, normal. I'm like, all right, lock in. We going to all of them, every single one. That doesn't count because that's an old movie that was already made. They have not put a single new Star Wars movie in theaters in almost 6 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because the previous gap was what, 10 years? Because it was 2005 to 2015.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
But that was like...
You're
that
more
one was
than
a little more
halfway.
obvious. Like, that one was a little more obvious. It's like,
right.
oh,
like,
we're
it
not,
wasn't like you're actively trying to continue this movie franchise.
Right.
Because they had, like, the Clone Wars going, but that was it. So... to now be at a point where it's been 6 years almost since you've put out a theatrical Star Wars movie after putting out 5 theatrical Star Wars movies. What happened? And every time you hear about a project, you know, Rian Johnson lost his trilogy. Taika Waititi has a trilogy but can't keep a writer. The Rey movie has had like 3 different writers and directors in the last year. Rogue Squadron got completely canceled and is gone. Lando Calrissian got turned into a show. The only thing they've been able to consistently do is the shows. And the shows, even then, have had like kind of back and forth on the quality. Like, I don't think Andor was very good. But the common consensus is that Andor was really good.
You watched it, right?
I got 3 episodes in and was bored out of my mind. And I was talking to one of my coworkers about it this week, and he was like, hey, it gets really good at like episode 10. And I was like, I shouldn't have to get 10 episodes into a show for you to tell me it gets good.
How many episodes are there?
12. I'm like, you're telling me I need to slog through 9 episodes before it actually gets good? No.
Okay. There's a difference because, like, if you look at Severance, which everything's going back to Severance because I'm obsessed, it takes a long time to get there. Like, it's like episode 5 or so, and the episodes are like almost an hour long. It's episode 5 before you have even an inkling of what is happening. But from the first 10 minutes, you're gripped and you're like, oh, this is phenomenal.
Right.
I want to see where this is going. But, like, there's a difference between that and I'm 3 episodes in and we have not established anything. Like, what are we doing here? So, I don't know. The Andor Season 2 trailer came out, and there was a lot of controversy over that, too. So, I'm kind of disconnected from that. A lot of people said it looked really bad and that the story wasn't going in the right direction. So...
I don't know. I don't care.
Know. I'm not.
This is the thing that sucks about being a Star Wars fan is there's nothing interesting for me to be excited for except a re-release of a 20-year-old movie.
I feel like Andor has its own separate fan base at this point. Like, there's Star Wars fans and then there's Andor fans. Like, I don't get it.
See, but the Andor fans will say it's the other way around. They'll say there's Star Wars fans and then there's just, like, tourists who are like, well, if you don't like Andor, you're not a real Star Wars fan.
Right.
I'm like, well...
It's like, okay...
If we go back to what like classic Star Wars is, it's about the space wizards and the lightsabers. So am I a bad person for just wanting more space wizards and lightsabers? Like,
come on.
I don't know, man.
Does everything have to be about fascism? Come on.
Dude, this is on topic and I won't stay on it too long because we need to move on.
Right.
But it drives me insane to no end when I see like Star Wars fans, right? I put fans in air quotes because I think we need to go back.
You have to like something to be a fan.
Yeah, no, I think we need to go back to gatekeeping, like the nerd space. I think opening, like everyone, okay, nerds got bullied in high school, right? Like when they were in school, like way back in the day, even before we were like born.
Right.
they got bullied for being into their little nerdy interests like Star Wars and Marvel and the whole shebang. And then eventually society said, okay, wait, these nerds are kind of cool. They're kind of chill. Like their interests aren't that bad. Mm-hmm. So then the nerds said, you know what? You guys come in. Let's enjoy. Like anyone can get into whatever. False. False. There should be an IQ test to get into anything. I'm really sick and tired of people who don't understand the content coming in and calling me a bad fan. Because they're like, well, you don't understand the 7 layers of political discourse and how this actually relates to this level of politics. I'm like, shut up, dude. It's a movie about space wizards fighting a war. It's literally not that deep.
Yeah.
I'm really, because Dude, I've had to get off Twitter. This has not been a good week for me on Twitter.
And there's something to say for just like expanding on that point. It's like, even if it is that deep, don't be a butthole about it.
Yeah.
Like because there is a lot of deep political commentary, especially in the prequel trilogy.
Yes,
that's all very
100%.
good. Super good, right? But don't talk to me like I'm stupid if that's not why I like Star Wars.
Right.
Like,
or if, I don't want to make the
me.
connection that the current sitting president of the United States is Emperor Palpatine. I'm not a fascist, okay? I'm just trying to enjoy Star Wars. You could, movies are up
There's
for
so
interpretation.
much, holier than thou. It's not...
and it frustrates me because these are all people who, came in with the Disney Plus shows. And I'm like, good for you that you were able to get into it. But, don't stand up there and lecture me when I've been here since I was, 5. Okay?
Don't cite the text to me, which I was there when they were written.
Exactly.
Literally.
Bring back gatekeeping media. That's the end of the story. It's just, we need to start gatekeeping.
Next episode is Top 10 Medias We Wish We Could Gatekeep.
Top 10 gatekeep. Yeah, let's
go
back.
Top 10 movies we should gatekeep.
There needs to be, so you know how when you, immigrate to the United States, you have to pass a test to become a U.S. citizen? We need to do that.
Yes,
that. We need to do that, but with nerdy media. So, you have to pass a Star Wars fan test before you can call yourself a Star Wars fan.
So are you saying, if you have, a bad Star Wars take, you should get deported from the fandom?
You're just not allowed to call yourself a fan. You can watch Star Wars. I'm not stopping you. You just can't call yourself a fan. It would really filter out the tourists, man.
When did fans become haters? I feel like we used to actually like things, and there's something to say for things used to be higher quality, but also Star Wars fans hate Star Wars. Actually,
that is true. No one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
That's so true. What happened? Now, to be fair, hate the stuff that's worth hating. Hate Rise of Skywalker, because that's garbo. But, don't hate each other. We're supposed to be in this together. We were, the second we split up, Kathleen Kennedy came back. It was...
guys.
It was stupid.
The second we stopped fighting the corporation. Guys,
gosh.
If you learn anything from Star Wars, is that you should always be fighting the corporation.
That's so
true. Quit playing semantics with Lucasfilm.
Literally.
Because they put out a decent Andor trailer. Come on, guys.